Assalamualaikum and salam hormat to our respected lecturer, Mr. AZMI ADNAN, and all of our fellow friends. So, before I begin, have you guys seen this netbook previously? The One Malaysia Netbook program was initiated in 2010 to distribute netbooks to underprivileged students and low-income households. By the end of 2012, a total of 856,325 netbooks have been distributed nationwide. The introduction to One Bestari Net and Frog VLE. Ministry of Education MOE collaborate with YTL Communication in 2011 by introducing the One Bestari Net project, which was one of the components in the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 till 2025. This project had offered wireless broadband service with 4G technology to 10,000 schools aimed at increasing the level of education and complement students with ICT skills. The vision of One Bestari Net to transform education in Malaysia and to bridge the digital divide between urban areas and rural students by providing quality internet-enabled education to all Malaysians. Under One Bestari Net, school was supplemented with integrated solutions that enable teaching, learning, and administrative management to be implemented through the internet by using the virtual learning environment VLE for application which is accessible with internet connection. So this is how the components of the solution work to deliver an integrated service. Frog VLE, it comprises of academic, the resources, the content creation, all of the teaching and learning approach, and also the communication through the notice, forums, sites, and also the administrators by the schools. And also, plus the internet connectivity and access that was provided by the Frog Trade or Frog Education, which is the connectivity in school throughout the YES 4G network. And also, it can be accessed to the VLE from any internet connection, and also through one single login ID, it can provide access to the VLE portal and an email client embedded with the VLE itself. And also, the how to accessing of VLE in school, the access and safety is having the high-speed internet for learning and research by teachers and students, but beyond the school or outside the school, flexible and mobility as long as the internet connection was stable and strong. So the next one is the objective of One Bestari Net. First one is to bridge the digital divide between urban and rural communities. The second one is to improve the quality of life for all Malaysians, to support the initiative that promotes technology-based innovation. The fourth one is to create high-quality future leaders with educational support and access to robust learning. And the last one, or the fifth one, is to optimize the transmission of knowledge through the integrated internet learning. Okay. Previously, I'm talking about Frog VLE. What is the actual of Frog VLE? So, the virtual learning environment VLE is a technology that supports learning through face-to-face and virtual meetings. This is by Barajas and Owen in 2000. Okay, VLE is a web-based learning platform which is a reality in the education world that integrates the conventional education concept with the virtual method. Frog VLE contains a learning platform that can be accessed in school or outside the school that as long as it has a strong or stable internet. The file and data stored in cloud or are cloud-based enable the user to access the contents using various mobile devices. IDs and passwords are not only supplied FOC or free of charge to teachers and students, but parents can also access the Frog VLE. This is from the Frog AZHAR in 2008. Previously, I'm talking about Frog VLE. What is the actual of Frog VLE? So, the virtual learning environment, VLE, is a technology that supports learning through face-to-face and virtual meetings. This is by Barajas and Owen in 2000. Okay, VLE is a web-based learning platform which is a reality in the education world that integrates the conventional education concept with the virtual method. Frog VLE contains a learning platform that can be accessed in school or outside the school that as long as it has a strong or stable internet. The file and data stored in cloud or are cloud-based enable the user to access the contents using various mobile devices. IDs and passwords are not only supplied FOC or free of charge to teachers and students, but parents can also access the Frog VLE. This is from the Frog AZHAR in 2008. Okay, here's the quick background of Frog VLE. The Frog education is called formerly Frog Trade, creates software for all schools in the world. Founded in 1999 by Gareth Davis and Tariq Issa. Over 100 people were employed by Frog in their head office in Halifax, Yorkshire in England. Used across 12,000 schools and has 12 million users worldwide. Wow! And it secured a contract with Malaysia on 2011. The interesting is Malaysia was the first country in the world to roll out 4G network and VLE at the same time. Wow, Malaysia is so powerful. Previously, I'm talking about Frog VLE. So how it works actually? The first one is it involves the use of internet medium. As long as you have a strong or stable internet connection, yes, you can enroll to the platform or the VLE Frog portals. The second one is teachers need to complete the platform that is provided with teaching materials by using the provided widgets or the application in the Frog VLE for various users, for your PDP, for the teaching approach, and also students can answer the question given by the teachers at their home using smartphones or the computer. The parents can retrieve their IDs through One Best StudyNet portal and logging into the school notice board or the school portal. Fourth one is all schools have a unique link to log into. This is the free of charge link. Teachers and student One Best StudyNet ID will be distributed throughout all of the schools. Approximately of 10,000 schools that were selected in Malaysia. Talking about the Frog VLE. So, what is the issues arise in the Frog VLE project? So, there are 6 issues that I will explain to all of you. The first issue is integration of technology in learning. They have received many reactions from the both educators and students as well. So the first issue is integration of technology in learning. The ministry has spent millions of ringgit in information and communication technology, which is the ICT, but unfortunately, the ministry's dream does not reach to the maximum level, and the objective of the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 till 2025 in producing teachers and students IT literate is not achieved. This is due to low level of ICT in schools itself. Also, IT illiteracy for teachers in employ the technology during their teaching, and students fail to practice the use of the technology itself. And also, teachers reluctant to change because they are unsure if they can make the new practice or the urban approach work. So according to Bolster in 1983, even though change means unpredictable failure, teachers do not easily alter or discard the practice they have built or their habit and refined for a long time. So the second issues arise in the fraud VLE is the lack of training for teachers in service, the lack of knowledge in technology for senior teachers especially. According to Harun et al. In 2016, the majority of senior teachers found it was difficult to embrace this new innovation and the improvement made to incorporate ICT through the learning. It is undeniable that young teachers are more sensitive and explore more and have broad knowledge of technology, but certain of them do not implement this online learning in their classroom. Only use fraud VLE for a repository for students to acquire learning materials such as the basic applications such as the PowerPoint and Google Classroom. The third issue in fraud VLE project is the time consuming in preparing the learning materials through fraud VLE. Teachers chose to use conventional approach or the traditional face-to-face approach as it would and increase students' achievement. Although they accept this urban approach, but the time required for them to acquire the technological skills and the experience itself is pretty long. So the second one is increasing teachers' workload and causing them to abandon the urban approach and just only focusing on traditional face-to-face method. The fourth issues arise in fraud VLE is lack of encouragement for teachers from the school itself. It is due to low self-confidence for teachers in handling technical application. Certain teachers who have low level of skills in technology will be less confident to teach virtually, and this raises concern for them. And also, lack of schools principals in managing human resources and technology in schools also led to fail in the integration of technology in learning as well. The fifth issues in this is high cost of getting the ICT systems such as the computers or the tablets. Lack of computers, tablets in school, the use of unlicensed software and outdated hardware and software systems, high cost in maintenance for ICT systems, and also the students from low income family unable to keep up with their friends who are able to own the gadgets for learning, and thus led to first element in Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 till 2025, which is provide equal access to quality education of an international standards for all students, is failed. The last issues in the fraud VLE is the common issue, which is the internet connection problem. The internet allows students to widen their academic performance, experience, access important academic information, and communicate with others within the academic community. This is by Tela 2007. But most of rural schools have problems with internet access. The students face unavailability of internet access due to parental control. This is because certain parents are quite strict towards their use of technology at home for the child. According to Teo in 2001, gender is an issue that influences purpose of using the internet. He generally indicate that males are the principally user of the internet. So he continued by saying that males use the internet service for the purpose of messaging, the emails, and also as well as browsing and downloading the sports and other entertainment issues. But the females use internet service in search of new fashion in clothes and service and the movies downloading. So before my other group members will going to present further or explaining further about their points, so I need all of you to enjoy the videos on the link below and get the understanding about the fraud VLE itself. So that's all from me. Bye, see you later. Thank you.
Okay, class. I have notes for you. Make sure you read this note.
If you can look at the board.
Cikgu Bob, I think you need a new board.
Kinetic theory of matter is a model developed to help us understand the atom was pictures.
Sounds like fun. How come your class always look sleepy?
Because I teach them how to sleep.
Excuse me, thanks.
Cikgu Adiba,
Yes.
what's that you're using to teach?
Oh, it's called the Frog VLE.
Frog VLE.
Yes.
Cikgu Adiba, I think I'm ready to be frog.
Well, I'll be more than happy to show you.
Thank
Follow
you.
me.
Excuse me, Cik Adiba.
Yes.
What is frog?
I'll teach you some other time. Okay? Come.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to AZMI and my fellow classmates. I am Nurain binti Muhammad Razaleee, and thank you to SYUHADA for the great explanation on Frog VLE program. Now, I will continue a little bit on recommendation, advantages and disadvantages of Frog VLE program. Let's see. For the many issues that have been raised, some of suggestion and recommendation that can be shared to supplement the teaching of Frog VLE program are: the first one, according to J.B. Adibenro 2017, teachers need to be practice using ICT properly in order to get accustomed and to add ICT skills. While Marcus 2012 state that for the successful implementation of intervention programs, teacher competencies need to be carefully considered in the planning and implementation of ICT integration program. There should be ongoing efforts to address the various issues as previously shown. Next, Uke and Chimizi 2016 state that teachers are allowed to form self-development groups by involving more competent partners in the field of technology. Why? Why they need to form self-development groups? As well as having professional development programs, and are encouraged to use ICT-based teaching and learning strategies. Besides, Ashfari and Amla 2012 state skills upgrading programs need to be set up to ensure that only interested and skilled teachers are active in the implementation. Monitoring should be carried out. Feedback on implementation should be collected and accessed for improvement purposes, and re-evaluate plans based on the feedback that they give previously, and improve implementation strategies for ongoing effort in the process teaching and learning. Next, according to Abdullah, internet access need to be increased. Why internet access need to be increased? Because Frog VLE program use internet to be accessed. So, they need to be high internet connection to having teaching and learning processes during using Frog VLE program. The number 5 recommendation is teachers' workload are reduced and teachers need to change their mind, make early teaching planning, and be prepared to attend organized courses related to Frog VLE application. From this, we can see teachers' workload reduced when the teachers share the content of the syllabus or teaching and learning processes or tools in the Frog VLE program. So the students can only access the Frog VLE and get the information there. While teacher also needs to change their mind and prepare well in attend the organized courses in the Frog VLE program. Next is the administrators in the school need to clear the objective of the virtual learning implementation and the plans for involving all school students and parents need to be developed. School administrators play the important roles in the implement the Frog VLE program. Last but not least, according to Chok 2017, the steps that can be used to maintain and enhance digital-based learning are to know the situation faced by the teachers. Thus, school need to provide the right way to improve teachers' professionalism in technology. In addition, teachers benefit from improving class-based learning. Frog VLE is very important for educational institution because it affects the quality of learning. Frog VLE teaching has so far emphasized the features, components, and technical aspect of optimizing the use of Frog VLE in the classroom. last but not least, according to Kaur and Hussein 2014, teachers are the forefront. So, training and support for teachers are an important component of e-learning education. Hence, continuous training is required. As I said before, ongoing effort in schools, in club or in organization are needed to be more perfect. So, practice make perfect. The advantages of Frog VLE project are: the first one, students can do the homework, see notes and important document related to learning at home or at schools. Why? Frog VLE project is interesting tools that can be used to teachers share their content of the syllabus or learning aids. So the students can make review or revise at the home. So the students can make the teaching and learning process effective with using Frog VLE project. Number 2, according to Cheok, Ayub and Wong 2017, Frog VLE project can increase the interest of teachers and students. Nowadays, technology is a food for the children in a secondary school or primary school. So, they need technology in teaching and learning. With using Frog VLE project, it can make high attention. We can attract their attention by using Frog VLE. So, teachers need to develop their skills in ICT to make the class interesting with their students. Number 3 is improve teaching effectiveness, cost saving and improve traditional learning. Teaching effectiveness is very important in teaching and learning process because with teaching effectiveness, we can deliver the information and the content of the syllabus to the students effectively. So the students can understand well and we can achieve the objective of the learning and teaching process. Cost saving. Of course, with using Frog VLE project, we have cost saving in using some tools or some aids like Manila card, marker pen, A4 paper. So we can limit the using of papers, marker pen, and now we are using Frog VLE project, and all the content and all the homework that students do in the project or in the files that have in the Frog VLE. Number 3 is improve traditional learning that I said before by using teacher-centered is not available nowadays. Now we use student-centered and now we use technology to get student attention. Next, we move to teachers can set lessons, tests and scores by using Frog VLE project. So, it's easy to teachers can access their marks or their score by using the Frog VLE project. Teacher also can make the lesson plans effectively and put in the VLE project or Frog VLE project, and the teacher can review back the lesson plan and see the effective of teaching and learning and it achieve the objective or not. And the last one is school administrator can organize their calendar and disseminate notification via Frog VLE. Okay, from using Frog VLE, school administrator can organize their calendar. So, we can know which class having a Frog VLE today. So, their lab are full with 4A in the morning, and next 4B or next class is using by 5A. So it can be organized by Frog VLE project. Okay. Last but not least from me is the disadvantages of Frog VLE project. The first one is need internet connection to access. Like I said before, Frog VLE project need high internet connection in order to get access into the Frog VLE. So, schools need to provide internet connection at the lab, at the computer lab, to students get access in Frog VLE so they can do their tasks or their homework and can see their notes in the Frog VLE project. At home also, parents must provide internet access to their children, so their children can access the Frog VLE at the home. Number 2 is students can copy and paste the answer. Like usually we also did that, right? Without understand well the topic. This can affect student learning because they only copy and paste the answer without read the content first, and they do not understand what have been their learning or what is the text about. They just copy and paste. They want their task only complete and they send their task. It is enough for them. This is unresponsible attitude. So we as a students must have responsibility on doing our tasks. Number 3 is material in the files and folder can lose. Technologies also have an error. We as a human also make a mistake. So same like technology. So we need do a backup such as download the files or notes first and put in the email or put in other folder. So if the material in the files lost, we have a backup. So that's all from me. Thank you. So I will pass the presentation to Fatin ADIRA.
Assalamualaikum everyone, I am Fatin ADIRA binti Murad. I will continue this presentation. But before that, let's watch the video first.
Good morning, Teacher ADIRA.
Namaste everybody, sorry a little bit late because I make coffee first. Okay, so let's open mathematics book text page 40 to 10. I want you guys to read the text, okay? So read with me, okay? Don't sleep. So the question is
minutes later.
I am so sleepy.
Hey Azmi, why you sleep? You only know sleep. Why you sleep? You know mathematics is important. I only ask you to read the 10 pages only, not to do the assignment.
Many minutes later.
Teacher tired lah like this. Every time in the class, I need to babble all the time. Okay, others, if you have any question, do ask me, okay?
Teacher, I want to ask you a question. Teacher, I want to ask you a question, please.
Yes, what's your question? Oh, I'm sorry, darling. It's time. The ringing bell is ringing, so let's move. Your question, keep to the next class, okay? Bye.
So, based on the video, do you want to be like a teacher Adira, or you want to be a better teacher? So for today, I have one approach that I want to share with you that can be used in our teaching and learning. So what is it? So for today, I will share about flipped classroom. The flipped classroom model is based on the idea that traditional teaching is inverted in the sense that what is normally done in class flip or switch with that which is normally done by the student out of class. Thus, instead of a student listening to a lecture in the class and then going home to work on a set of assigned problems, the student read course literature and assimilate lecture material through video at home and engage in teacher-guided problem solving, analysis and discussion in class.
Fitting with the revised Bloom's taxonomy. In traditional learning, lower level of learning such as remembering and understanding is happening in class, while students are usually left to work on activities that involve higher level of learning outside of classroom. However, in the flipped classroom model, learning is flipped. As you can see from the pyramid, students can finish the lower level of cognitive work before class. And when they come to class, they can engage in higher cognitive levels of learning with peers and teacher present. Next is the pillars of FLIP. F stands for flexible environment. Flip learning allows for a variety of learning modes. Educators often physically rearrange their learning space to accommodate a lesson or unit to support either group work or independent study. They create flexible space in which students choose when and where they learn. Furthermore, educators who flip their classes are flexible in their expectation of student timeline for learning and in their assessment of student learning. Next, L for learning culture. In the traditional teacher-centered model, the teacher is the primary source of information. By contrast, the flipped learning model deliberately shifts instruction to a student-centered approach, wherein class time is dedicated to explore topics in greater depth and creating rich learning opportunities. As a result, students are actively involved in knowledge construction as they participate in and evaluate their learning in a manner that is personally meaningful. The third one is I for intentional content. Flipped learning teachers continually think about how they can use the flipped learning model to help students develop conceptual understanding as well as procedural fluency. They determine what they need to teach and what materials students should explore on their own. Teachers use intentional content to maximize classroom time in order to adopt methods of student-centered active learning strategies depending on grade level and subject matter. The last one is P for professional educator. The role of professional educator is even more important and often more demanding in a flipped classroom than in a traditional one. During class time, they continually observe their students, providing them with feedback relevant in the moment and assessing their work. Professional educators are reflective in their practice, connect with each other to improve their instruction, accept constructive criticism, and tolerate control chores in their classroom. While professional educators take on less visibly prominent roles in a flipped classroom, they remain the essential ingredient that enables flipped learning to occur. As a teacher, the goal of flipping your class is to practice a more student-centered pedagogy, thereby engaging your students in active learning experience. How to implement flipped classroom? The first one is scope and objective. Define content scope, learning objective, and instructional strategies. You as a teacher need to ask yourself, what is the scope of your topic? How will students use or apply the material? How will students meet the learning objective? Which instructional approach that will fit best for the main learning activity? How will you contextualize the topic? So, if you can give the answer, then you manage to do the first step. The second step is pre-class content. Students gain familiarity with new material before class. What instructional materials and resources will you use for students to familiarize themselves with the content prior to class? Plan and prepare the new instructional materials that students will engage with prior to class. Ask yourself, what is the best way to communicate and present the new instructional material? Example, video, text animation, and simulation. And will my student be able to process this content in this format effectively? Third step is pre-class activities. Activities that motivate students to prepare before class. What kinds of activity will motivate students and prepare them for class? Refer to the learning objective and tasks that you outline in first step. Ask yourself what incentive or motivation students will have to prepare for class and how you will know students have adequately prepared for the in-class activity. Here are some examples of ways to motivate students to the pre-class work. Ask students to respond open-ended questions online about the instructional material before class. Prepare questions about the instructional materials. Prepare a presentation about the topic and attempt to solve some problems. The fourth step is in-class activities. In-class activities that provide students opportunities to deepen understanding. What kind of in-class activities will focus students on attaining higher level cognitive abilities? Refer to the learning objective and tasks that you outline in step 1. Plan, prepare, and develop in-class activities that focus on higher level cognitive activities. Will students be working individually in the classroom as you walk around and provide help, or in groups to solve the problems, or will you solve problems together as a group? The activity you choose will depend on the learning goals and objectives, as some activities lend themselves best to certain types of content. Create a brief introduction and explanation of this new process. Many students may not have any previous experience with a flipped classroom or active learning. The last step is post-class activities. Post-class activities that extend student learning. How will students continue the learning experience from the in-class activity to outside of class? Determine what students should do after the in-class activity to continue learning or bridge to the next topic. Think about and plan how often students will need to practice or revise their thinking to really master the material and be successful. Last but not least, evaluation. Did you communicate the ideas effectively? Did you provide enough opportunities for students to practice? Was it challenging enough? Ask for feedback from students on what worked well and what didn't, and update your practice accordingly. Ensure that all of these steps are closely aligned and they support the learning goals and objectives. Remember to ask your colleague to review your plan and give you feedback. Next is issues arise in flipped classroom. The first issue is lack of student discipline. For students who haven't had any exposure to flipped learning, the less conventional setup can be a challenge. Students can struggle with self-discipline and may turn up to class without having absorbed the lesson, rendering the method pointless. So, what should teacher do? When attempting to introduce the flipped classroom, it makes sense to start small, building students' confidence with flipped tasks that let you practice and prepare for the bigger change. This softly introduction gives students and teachers the chance to learn without becoming overwhelmed. The second issue is lack of equipment. Video conferencing technologies, screencasting tools, and cloud-based platforms that let teachers create and deliver lessons all help to create the flipped classroom. However, with poor quality, faulty, and out-of-date ICT equipment, one of the main reasons for teachers not using technology in the classroom. This can be a barrier to success. Therefore, to get around this, teachers should put a backup plan in place for all students, showing them what to do if the internet goes down or they don't have access. This could include identifying safe learning space with Wi-Fi, offering a borrowing library of computer device, and providing learning content on USB drive. The last one is old-fashioned classroom. The layout of the traditional classroom is another obstacle to flipped learning. Collaboration, communication, and creativity are at the heart of this method, but fostering these skills is almost impossible with students inactive in rows of desks all day. With a little imagination, teachers can implement a more flexible classroom with the minimum amount of fuss, resource, and disruption, boosting student engagement and helping students to learn more effectively. The next is the advantages of flipped classroom. The first one is more one-to-one time with teacher in the class. The flipped classroom model provides more time for one-to-one between the teacher and students, This means the students have more time to ask questions or ask for help if there are any issues. The second advantage of flipped classroom is self-paced learning. Student learning can be self-paced to help them learn at their own pace and their own time. This can be particularly effective for slower learners. The third advantage is deeper subject understanding. As students are researching and discussing themselves, the student gain a deeper understanding of the subject and related subjects. The fourth advantage of flipped classroom is work accessibility. Homework and work tends to be more accessible with the flipped classroom model. Teachers have to provide learning materials for the subject, making the work provided available over the school system. The fifth advantage is richer content. The flipped classroom encourages richer content. With traditional teaching, the students would be provided with one way of looking at the subject, whereas flipped classroom encourage the students to find many different ways of looking at a topic, including different diagrams, wording and videos. And the last advantage of flipped classroom is student-centered. As we can see, students in flipped classroom, students have more group work or student collaboration time to cover subject activities, discussion, and peer teaching. The first disadvantages of flipped classroom is increased screen time. Due to the nature of the research, activities and discussion required, computers or tablets tend to be used more using the flipped teaching method. This can add to an already high screen time in students. The next disadvantage is time and effort for teacher. The time and effort required from a teacher's perspective initially when creating the flipped class material is higher than for a traditional class. However, the material can be reused the next year. The last disadvantages of flipped classroom is digital issue. Lack of access to the internet or a home computer can result in a lack of access to the learning materials provided. This may exacerbate digital divide and learning issues already caused by students coming from lower income families. So that's all from me. We continue with the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you Fatin ADIRA for the information about flipped classroom. Okay, Assalamualaikum to Sir AZMI and my fellow friends. I am AKMAL and I will continue our presentation regarding this topic. So, I will explain about the development of ebook. What is ebook? Ebook is an electronic book which is the presentation of electronic files on digital displays. It also a book publication made available in digital form. Ebook also consists of text, image and audio on the flat panel display of computers or other electronic device. So, how to use ebook? First, you need to have a device or smartphone. Then, you need to have a data connection to download or install the ebook. Next, go to the website of ebook such as Open Library, Google eBook Store, Amazon Free Kindle Books and so on. Then, you buy and download the ebook. Then, you can read at smartphone and also can highlight some text or do some notes at the same time. However, there are some issues related to ebooks. First is copyright issue. Piracy is the number one concern for both publisher and authors. Ebooks are more prone to piracy. This is because someone tends to copy the originally to get the content for free. It's easy as 1, 2, 3 because the book are in digital form. Once pirate, ebook lost their originality and generate no income for the author. It's also lost its authenticity because some pages of the pirate book may be missing. Second issue is not all schools allow to bring device or smartphone. These issues are related to educational policy. As we know, only private schools are allowed to bring phone or smartphone, but for education purpose only. Government schools still not allowed their students to bring phone or smartphone. So, this situation difficult to teach students using e-book in government school. Next issue is not all students have device or smartphone, especially in rural area. Nowadays, if we can see, all kids have their own phone or gadget, but not students in rural area. Basically, in rural area, not all students have a device and also the limit of coverage networking. So, e-books are not suitable for them to use in teaching and learning. There are so many advantages of e-books. Number one is e-books are more portable. Unlike paper books and materials, digital books only need one device to carry around with you. Due to its portability, you can carry it wherever you go and you can use it anytime and everywhere. The second advantages of e-book is less of space. Basically, e-book no need any physical space to store them. You can store hundreds and thousands of e-book on your computer or reading device. The next advantages of e-book is save more money. When we use e-book, we can save more money. This is because without printing, manufacturing and shipping costs, e-books are often much cheaper than print books. We only need to pay the publication cost to using e-books. There are some disadvantages of e-books. Number one is increased screen time. Most e-readers come with LCD screen, and studies show that reading for hours from such a screen could lead to certain vision problem. It can affect the vision or may cause eye irritation, and this makes more difficult to focus while reading. Next, disadvantages of e-books is lose your file. If you forget to back up your file, you can lose everything in your tablet. And then, when your device got a virus, so you need to format, and this meant you lost everything in your device.
Hello everyone, I am Leslie. Now, I will proceed with the next presentation. Okay, first of all, let us make a juice. Okay, first one is add on strawberry. Next, water. Next is a little bit sugar. And blend it together. Okay, the juice is ready. Let us test it. My version of juice is so yummy. What is actually blended learning? I can say that blended learning is something as same as you make a juice, where you add when you add a suitable ingredient, for example, fruit, water, sugar, and you will not adding any ingredient that is not suitable for the juice that you make, right? Okay, same goes to the blended learning. Blended learning is an approach to learning that combine face-to-face interaction and online learning experience. It also refers to the reverse teaching, reverse instruction, and flip teaching. It also requires the physical presence of both teacher and students, where students control their own time, pace, and place in blended learning. Blended learning also giving students time to learn at their own pace. Okay. There are several common types that always been used by teachers and educators in classroom. The first one is station rotation blended learning. Station rotation blended learning is where students rotate through station on a fixed schedule, where at least one of the station is online learning station. For example, there are 3 stations that being provided in the class. The first one is reading station, the second one is writing station, and the third one is online learning station. This is where the student will rotate through the 3 stations, and at least one of the station is online learning station. Second one is lab rotation blended learning. Okay, lab rotation blended learning is same as the station rotation blended learning, but most of the instruction is given online, and the class is take place at the computer lab, where student is supervised by the teacher or a person that is profession or major in that area. Third one is individual rotation blended learning. This is where the student will rotate through the station by following the schedule or personal schedule that is set by the teacher. Okay, in this type of blended learning, student is not necessary to rotate through all of the station, but they will move according to the schedule that been set by the teacher. Each student will has individual playlists, activities, and it is this type of blended learning is more to individual tasks, where the student is rotated based on the schedule that been set by the teachers. Next is flipped classroom. Flipped classroom is also known as a reverse instruction or reverse classroom. In the flipped classroom, student will be given the material or the content of the topic at home, and will practice working on it at the school, and they will supervised by the teachers and peers. Okay, for example, teacher will prepare a material and upload it on the YouTube. Student will see or watch the YouTube, and when they come to school, they will practice on working. Next is flag blended learning. Flag blended learning is where most of the instruction is given through online, with teacher will providing the support as needed in a small group setting. This is where students will work independently and learn to create and develop the new concept in a digital environment. This type of flag blended learning is usually most used in higher education. The last one is remote blended learning. Remote blended learning is where the student will focus on completing the task online and only meet the teachers as they needed. How blended learning function? The first one is by maximizing the tool and device, which is, for example, computer lab, smartphone, and any tool and device that will help in provide online learning experience. Second one is by sending interesting work to the student at home. For example, by creating a comic, Kahoot quiz, a story book, YouTube, Go Noodle, and movies. This type of task or activity or quiz that been given to the student will help student to engage and involve in the online learning experience. The third one is organize some online study schedule. This is usually done by the teachers or educators because they are the one that will plan and organize all of the schedule that been set for their students. The last one is create some in-class group work. For example, through the Telegram, WhatsApp, through the online platform like Zoom, Google Meet, Google Classrooms. This is example of small group work which the student can communicate with their teacher, peers, and this will enhance their engagement during the online class. Okay. The issue regarding the blended learning is the first one is technological issue. Okay. Technological issue always occur in blended learning because it is high expenses that been used for technology and training for the teachers. If the teacher don't have inadequate training, it will cause a time consuming during the learning time. For example, if the teacher use the projector in the class, but he or she do not know how it functions and how to use it, this will consume and reduce learning time that been provided according to the schedule. Second one is issue with the decrease of student interaction. Mostly, students will receive the instruction online and they will work independently during the class. So this will weaken the relationship because the student will only interact with the peers or teachers if they have question and do not understand regarding the topic. It also lowering the student motivations. This is occur because student will work independently, and if she or he do not understand but they are shy to ask, then this will lowering their motivation in doing the task. The third issue regarding to the blended learning is effectiveness. Effectiveness is regarding to the content of the learning and the task being provided. Some of the subject and course that been provided in school or higher education, some of it is not appropriate to be taught by using blended learning. For example, the course that is more to practical skill, for example, music and physical and health education. And the third one is science and mathematics. Most of this subject or course is more to skills. So, if the task is given online, how the teacher will assess and know about the level of student understanding. So this will not help the educator or teachers to know where is the level of student understanding, and they also cannot know either the objective of the learning is achieved or not. Teacher can't focus to every one of the student in the class, especially when it is involve a big number of students in that class. This will make the student not understand, and they will perform or doing the task according to what they understand without asking the teachers what is the correct instruction and what is the correct way to perform the skill that been asked regarding the instruction that been given online. Same goes to the student. If the student is shy to ask during the class, this will be a problem, especially for the subject that is involve the practical skills. The student will not know either they are performing the correct technique or practical skill that they had performed during the class. Because that is all from me. Now I will pass the presentation to Steve. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve LARRISON and today I am going to discuss on the advantages, disadvantages, and conclusion of blended learning. Right, so we are on to the advantages of blended learning. Right, so the first advantage of blended learning is it can increase the student interest. When technology is integrated into school lessons, learners are more likely to be interested in, focused on, and excited about the subjects they are studying. Subjects that might be monotonous for some, like math and science, while also increasing information retention. So for the second advantage of blended learning is it offers flexibility in terms of availability. In other words, blended learning enables the student to access the materials from anywhere at any time, while enjoying the benefits of face-to-face support and instruction. Uh, so for the third one is it enables the students to learn at their own pace. Due to flexibility of blended learning and the ability to access internet resources allow students to learn at their own pace, meaning a teacher can help speed up the learning process or give more advanced resources if necessary. For the next one is it prepares the students for the future. Blended learning offers the multitude of real-world skills that directly translate into life skills, from research skills, self-learning, self-engagement, self-driving force, better decision-making, offers a large sense of responsibility, and of course, computer literacy. The next advantage is it instills a disposition of advocacy. Students become self-driven and responsible, tracking their individual achievements, which help develop the ability to find resources or get the help they need, self-advocating so they can reach their goals. Right? So for the last advantage of blended learning is allow instant diagnostic information and student feedback. The ability to rapidly analyze and review and give feedback to student work gives the teacher to ability to tailor his teaching methods and feedback for each student while improving time efficiency. Now we are on to the disadvantages of blended learning. The first one is the technological limitation. The first issue is the IT literacy, which may be the significant barrier for teachers rather than students. The availability of solid tech support and trainers is an absolute must. It's also important to nurture a blended learning community to evangelize the value of training and technology. Any hiccup and lack of organization may bring along the looming danger of failure. The next one is the cognitive load. The first thing that comes to mind when you think of disadvantages of blended learning is the cognitive load. Now, new to the blended model, some teachers may over-delivering content and educational activities. The new program may become a friend if tailored to individual student needs and a foe if applied in bulk. The last one is the plagiarism and credibility. Naturally, if your class is officially internet friendly, it is hard to withstand the temptation of looking up things on the web or getting instant tips from fellow students. This may take fair assessment of quality of coursework. Besides, the students needs to make learners aware of the perils of unverified online resources such as bias, distortion, and misrepresentation of facts. Right. So for the conclusion of blended learning, all students, no matter their age, learn very differently, and teaching methods should reflect this by designing teaching programs in a way that reaches visual, auditory, and kinetic learners alike. With the heavy integration of technologies, we'll be able to improve teaching and information retention, engagement, responsibility, and enjoyment. Students never outgrow their learning styles, meaning blended learning is more important than ever. No matter what the industry is, from schools to corporations, from all walks of life. Now, that is all from our group. I hope you have enjoyed our presentation. That is all from us. Thank you.